What's up, whiskey lovers? All right, day 5. This one I'm kind of excited about for a couple of reasons. Because I'm not a huge rye fan. And if I think about that and think about yesterday's video, I probably complain a little bit too much, don't I? No, look, I'm used to having your malt whiskies, not your ryes, not your bourbons. This one is technically a bourbon, but because it's made in Australia, not legally allowed to call it a bourbon, are we? So this one is the Great Southern Distilling Tiger Snake Sour Mash. So apparently the sour mash is the terminology for Australian bourbon, or what I believe they're putting as the terminology for Australian bourbon. So this one is from Albany in Western Australia. Comes in the 700ml bottles at 43%. And it's, again, part of the White Possum, the 12-pack sample. So still got a few to go, 7 more to go. So as I say, this one's really a bourbon, but because due to laws, cannot be called a bourbon in Australia. They call it a sour mash. And I believe it's probably one of Australia's first, if I can get clarification on that one. I hope the guys are watching this, so we'll see how we go. So there's no real details on the cask because I don't know much about bourbons. I don't know what they're generally put in. Is it American oak? Is it, I don't know, is it bourbon casks? That's stupid to say, but who knows? But I do know that they use corn, they use rye, and they use the malted barley, which are all sourced locally. The price point is around $120 to $140. So I'm going to be doing my rating on that kind of price range and seeing if it's something that I would bring on there and enjoy myself. You may not have heard of these guys before, but you should have heard of their sister company or their big brother company called Limeburners. Now, Limeburners were originally holding them, and they've gotten fairly big in their production from my understanding, and they now have their own distillery, so their own location. The good news is, if you are a Limeburners fan, I do have one that we are reviewing sometime during this month as well. Now they do have a cask strength from what I understand, and I think it was around 65%. Yeah. Get on that, I think. It's also won, I think it was the Blended Whiskey of Australia in 2016. So yeah, we'll get into it. The smell's pretty good. It's a very bright gold, a bit darker than the other ones have been, and I'm assuming that's probably the corn and the rye with it. It smells very farmy. Rum and raisin kind of flavors or smell. My partner picked that up before I did. I had a tiny little bit of vanilla. But truth is in the pudding. Okay, so it's got a bit of a slow hit and then just goes like woof and then just curls down back again. Flavors though. At the end, I'm getting the typical vanilla. The rest of it, I'm just getting the standard alcohol taste, which doesn't give me much to really review it on in the sense of flavors. I have seen that there's supposed to be, or some people say there's chocolate and all these kind of stuff in there. I'm not picking that up at all. I am going to try something though. And I don't normally do it on the 43s. I'm going to add some water into this. Because it has a bit of that peak that I hit. It is very strong in the mouth. So, give me a couple of seconds.
Steaks by the whiskey, a whiskey by the steaks. The steaks by the whiskey, a whiskey by the steaks.
Whiskey, but boy, it kicks you in the mouth.
Alright, no fancy water cup today. Because they're behind me. So let's put in a couple of drops. Give that a bit of a swirl. Ooh. It's definitely opened up vanilla smell through that. Okay, a lot smoother. Oh, hang on. No, the hit it went like this. Went doo-doo-doo-doo, bang, and then hit back down. So this is a worse way to describe it. But anyways, first off, it goes like this. Bang, and then back down again. With water, it was bang. So like double the time it took to actually hit on there. But that's... For my experience in rye whiskies and bourbons and stuff, that's actually pretty good. For 120 bucks, 130 bucks, I wouldn't say no to that. It's actually probably one of the better ones that I've had. Now, as I said, very limited experience in this. I have another one which has just been awarded the world's best rye whiskey. I'm not a fan. This one, I'm actually a fan over. So, to me, this one probably sits around the 6 to 6.5 for me. Again, my palate, not generally used to rye. I do know someone, that would absolutely love this and already does. He's got the full collection, the first cask release, which they're selling for like 400 bucks or something. And he's got the cask strength currently and also this one. And this is his daily drinker. So, it is definitely highly regarded as a good whiskey. Now, the other thing, and I should have started with this. This is the only whiskey I know that's got its own theme song. Don't worry, I'll play it right now. We'll catch you tomorrow.
Oh, damn.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, damn is right.
There's snake by the whiskey and whiskey by the snake.
Late night, baby.
Kapla, and good journey.
There are creatures in Australia that poison, kill, or maim ya. Most deadly one is aged in a cask. Its fangs so sharp and stripes so dark and knock you on your ass. Its venom fucking burns right through your flask. Being educated and urban, we dare not call it bourbon. It's whiskey, friend, please make no mistake. Ask us how we make it. We mash the grain and age it with snakes by the whiskey and whiskey by the snake. Snakes by the whiskey and whiskey by the snakes. A man say hail and hearty, sure know how to party, but Jacob took a nip and hit his face. With a punch to pack to nip it back, and swiftly lost the race. The tiger snake, he put him in his place. Being educated and urban, we dare not call it bourbon. It's whiskey, friend, please make no mistake. Ask us how we make it. We mash the grain and age it with snakes by the whiskey and whiskey by the snakes. Snakes by the whiskey and whiskey by the snakes. Oh, Matt and Paul, they had the gall. Jacob made a judgment call. The bottle made its way around the room. A palatal compunction, perhaps reptile dysfunction. That snake he taught those men not to assume. Being educated and urban, we dare not call it bourbon. It's whiskey, friend, please make no mistake. Ask us how we make it. We mash the grain and age it with snakes by the whiskey and whiskey by the snakes. Snakes by the whiskey and whiskey by the snakes. Educated and urban, we dare not call it bourbon. It's whiskey, friend, please make no mistake. Ask us how we make it. We mash the grain and age it with snakes by the whiskey and whiskey by the snake. Snakes by the whiskey and whiskey by the snake. Snakes by the whiskey and whiskey by the snake.
Whiskey, but boy, it kicks you in the mouth.